There's some randoms down there. They just pulled up. I just did the first take, and the camera's a little close, so I don't know what the hell they're doing. They probably think, oh, let's scare them off or some shit, but I don't give a fuck. What? Oh, they're just grabbing some random shit. I'm gonna wait for them to leave though. Alright, so my phone's actually ringing and doing the soft flare thing. That's funny. Alright, well, the little Jeep faggot's rolled out, so I'm gonna record me maneuvering, I guess. Alright, this is gonna have to be like an after the fact diary type thing, since I didn't record when it happened, but I should hit record on my camera, but I don't think you would have been able to hear it anyways, because you can barely hear me on the one where like, holy crap, it's a big dog. You can't hear me on that at all, so they were like inside the car, but that one Jeep, I was like, oh, there's like a Jeep down there or whatever, and you can see it in the video. They were sitting at the very end of the, almost said runway, well, they were sitting at the very end of the parking lot. They were just looking at me, I guess, because I was doing like maneuvers and stuff. I did 2 takes of the car one where I deployed the flares out the window. I did 2 takes of that. The first one, I was like, the camera was too close or something to me in the inside car view, so I wanted to do that again. And I thought it wouldn't hurt to get another take of it. So I ended up using mostly stuff from the second take, but when I pulled in there, I didn't really know what was back there. I'd never really been back into the soccer complex. I was just driving around town looking for a place to record this. And I went out to like the west end of town, and I saw, there was one place I was thinking maybe I'd do it, but the parking lot really wasn't that big, so I just kind of drove out. And then I realized there was like, as I was pulling out from like the one place I thought I could do it, I looked down and I saw like this like soccer complex, like, oh, that might be a good place. And it looked pretty empty. So I was like, okay, I'll pull in here. And there was like a gate that was closed, or I thought it was open, I guess, so it was, I don't know if apparently it's always been closed, but for that day, I'll explain it, I guess, but I went in, I pulled in the parking lot, I videotaped like the 15-mile-per-hour sign, and then I just drove up, sped up to like 30 or something like that, and ended up getting like me going up to like 45, like, I don't know, on the highway or something like that, but I drove around the parking lot for a while and just checked it out and stuff, and sped around a little bit, and then I set the camera up with my little dashboard mount thing I use it for when I'm recording flying. Set that up, and then I videotaped myself. I ended up doing 2 takes because I messed up the first time. The camera was like too close to me or something. You couldn't really see me throwing the shorts and shirt out the window and stuff like that. So I redid that. There's like a little like school or something up there, and some like little kids. Like I just sat there for a while and just kind of watched to see like if anybody would like get mad if I was in there. And nothing happened really, so I just like started recording and threw like clothes out my window, and like then I did like little like slaloms through my clothes. It turned out like just like little slaloms. I probably thought I was like practicing for like racing or something like that. I don't know. It was cool. It was actually pretty fun to do. Went speeding through them really fast, but that's actually the in-car view or whatever. Like looking at me, that's me going through like a little slalom thing. It was fun. But then I ended up doing another take because I messed up. But like before I did that take, there was like that Jeep that's sitting at the end of the parking lot. And they just sat there for a while, and then they got out and went over and moved some benches. I'm like, okay, I guess they work here or something like that. I didn't care. And then they came up past me, and they like looked at me, and I looked at them. I was like, what the hell do you want? And then they just drove like off into a soccer field. And, like I guess they were moving other benches and stuff. And so like I sat there for a while and looked over there and just made sure they weren't like watching me or something like that. And then I went ahead and did the other take, threw out the stuff, and I set the camera in the parking lot and just drove around and stuff, doing my things, and threw my little flares, I guess. And then I got all my stuff back together, and I went over and just pulled over next to like the soccer field. I left my door open. I was just going over there for a second, and I walk over, and I did like the part of me running around throwing the flares out from my backpack and stuff. And then I just sat down on a hill there like outside. And I was looking over. I could see my car was probably like, I don't know, 100, 150 feet to my right. and I see that Jeep pull up like from behind, and they're like, they're creeping up, and I can see them, and they're like, my door was open, and they just come in and they look, they're like looking like around the corner, trying to see me in the car. I was like, what the hell? I'm just sitting over there like looking at them, like, what the hell are you guys doing? So I just stood up to walk over, make sure I don't steal anything or whatever, and walk up, and there's like 2 guys in the Jeep, and they just pull up closer to me, and I just stand there, I'm like, and they go, hey, do you work here? I'm like, no. And then they're like, oh, well, this place is only open for, we're getting ready for some race, and I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't mean, any harm or anything. And like, oh, no, it's okay. It's like, well, I'm getting out of here now, so it's really awkward. Like, people are just so funny, like, when you're recording stuff. We had a similar thing when we were recording for Ye Old Chaps. We were in a Publix, which is a grocery store, and we were recording in the store. Like, I was just holding the camera up in the store, and I guess I didn't like that, so they brought over, like, a manager and these 2 other chicks, and they all just came up to us, and, like, we're just standing there recording something completely retarded. Like, my friend Alex is in, like, a tuxedo looking thing, and I'm just sitting in the middle of like the aisle recording, and we were just walking like Borat, like doing the goofy walk thing, and oh my god, we were like so retarded. It was so funny though. But they come up to us and they're like, oh, well, you can't record in here for some copyright thing, or do you have some kind of like, not copyright, but do you have some kind of permit for this? And we're like, no. It's like, well, you can't record. And we're like, oh, okay, well, we'll get out of here then. So it's like, people are just so funny. When you try to record something in public, they get all pissy. I guess this was on private ground, or I don't know. I guess it looked like a city ground thing. It's like, soccer field or whatever, soccer complex, but what do I know? But it was funny. I wish I would have recorded it, but I don't think you would be able to hear it anyway, so. But yeah, that's what happened with the Jeep, so that's kind of funny. I would explain it since I started explaining it. And yeah, alright then.